Welcome to the WEO Better Health 90-Day Challenge, and congratulations for enrolling. You've taken the first step. I want to help you with how to be prepared at home when you start, eating foods that are not the MRP shakes, okay? So we're just going to move through the table here. We're not going to, don't worry, you don't have to go get a degree or a calculator, but there's got to be some basic knowledge. The first thing I want you to do is just don't ask the question, is this healthy for me? All right? I know that kind of seems like a strange question when our goal is to be healthier, but let's just take this for example. Most people would see this and go, oh, chocolate, I love chocolate, it's dark chocolate, I hear that's super healthy, and the raspberries, what could be more Mother Nature healthy than that? But this is not going to be a food that's going to be on your keto diet, right? So a better question is this, don't ask if this is healthy for me, ask, will this food get me closer to my goal or further away? And our goal is, oddly enough, our goal is not to reduce our calories. The goal is not to lower our glucose. It's not even to increase our ketone levels. Our goal is to lower the level of insulin in your body. Insulin is a hormone that your pancreas produces whenever you eat a carbohydrate, mostly. Sometimes you can get an insulin spike with too much protein, we'll go over that, and with certain types of fat, and we'll go over that too. But generally speaking, what we're really trying to do, if we're trying to lower our blood pressure, our cholesterol, our glucose levels, our insulin resistance, fat around the belly, sore joints, just feeling better, all those will be taken care of if you're successful in lowering your insulin levels. And that's our goal. So this will raise our insulin levels. So if you look at the nutritionals on that, you'll see that the serving size is 4 to 5 pieces. That means 4 to 5 berries. And there is, from my memory, 10 grams of carbs, and only one of them is fiber. Now you can subtract the fiber from the total carb count, but on this protocol, I'm only allowing you 20 grams of carbs a day. So here, you just had 10 with 4 pieces of berries. That's half of your entire day's worth of carbs. This one, yeah, this is a phase 4 treat, not a phase 1, which is where you're starting. So we're gonna take that off the list. I want you to be careful with something like ketchup and really any condiment. Just learn to turn the label over, look at it. This happens to be a ketchup with 50% less sugar, and it tastes the same as regular ketchup. That will give you the flavors and textures that you're used to without going without, all right? Stock up on your spices. If you're not really a spice person, I suggest do a little exploring. Go through and just check and see what spices you like. Smoke is a great accent flavor. A little bit goes a long way. You want to get some oils. Olive oil is a great choice. Avocado oil, you want to stay away from corn and canola if you can. Get yourself some broth, right? Beef and chicken broth, those are great. And just be prepared to season your food, all right? With the milks, don't have any cow's milk, goat's milk. You can have almond milk. This brand is one I actually do recommend because the other brands use a different type of thickener that seems to react kind of funny with the shakes, and it makes it kind of have a weird texture. Almost turns it like a runny Jell-O. Not recommended. So this brand doesn't do that. Of course, as always, you want to make sure you get the unsweetened one. Have half of your shake be this, and you're good. If you want it a little bit more creamy, don't use half and half. Don't use a creamer. Just go for the good stuff. Get heavy whipping cream. Because there's no glucose in here, there is in milk, and that's why the glucose, or it's the glucose that's kicking the milks out of the option. So if you want a little bit more creaminess, put 1 tablespoon, maybe 2 of this in your shake, and that will be more than enough for you. And again, just be aware of advertising. So here you have the brand Cool Whip. This one says light. This one says original, right? I want you just to pay attention to the labels. Don't pay attention to the front. Flip that over. The one that's original is 3 grams of carbohydrates with 1 coming from fat, or 1 coming from sugar. The low or the light, they're really referring to as lower fat. That one has 3 grams of carbs, the same, and 1 gram of sugars, the same. So if you're gonna have something like this, choose the one with the higher fat, because generally speaking, this will have less carbs. If it says light on it, they're referring to the fat, and we don't care so much about that, right? And again, rather than have this, go for the good stuff and just get heavy whipping cream, all right? Watch out for prepared meals. This looks yummy. It's meat. You're gonna be eating lots of meat, but let's turn that thing over and look at the carbs. 1 serving, which is only 4 ounces of beef, right? Not a lot, is a whopping, I forgot, so I have to, 28 grams of carbs. That's a day and a half in just 1 sitting of meat. So just watch what you're doing. You don't want to be more than 20 in a day, and you can make this taste just as good with the seasonings we talked about. Make your own shredded beef. Prepare your meals in advance if you're on a tight schedule, or if you don't like to cook. Just take a Saturday afternoon or a couple of hours. Pull out your meats that you want to use, whether it be chicken. Take some of it and do chicken breast. Shred the chicken. Cut them into strips. Take your beef. Do the same. Prepare it in different ways. And then just serve them in these little things. These are disposable little containers. This brand happens to be Disposeware. They're called To-Go's, and they work great. They last a long time, and they're easy to freeze. They're stackable, so they fit in your refrigerator really, really nice and comfy. Be careful when you start a keto diet. You're gonna have what they call keto breath, or dog's breath. That's just a natural smell of what ketones smell like when they enter your bloodstream. Be careful with the gum. Here's a sugar-free gum, all right? And if you turn that thing over, because why? We read labels now. It'll say 1 gram per stick. I've had customers, they'll chew 15 to 20 of these in a day so that they can have a fresh breath. That's 15 to 20 grams every day, and you're only allowed 20. Do you want to eat your food in gum, or do you want to eat it with real food, right? So use this sparingly. My little trick, if I'm going into a meeting, I'll take 1 stick, and then I'll have some Listerine, or that I can take a little tiny sip of when the gum wears out, and then I can chew it for a little bit longer. It gives it a second life, all right? Now, let's get into the keto flu that you've been hearing about. In your kit, we're gonna give you the electrolytes, right? That's the primary source. That is sodium. That is gonna keep you out of getting the keto flu. And what is the keto flu? Essentially what it is it feels like you have the flu, or you're coming down with the flu. You feel kind of achy, you feel a little stuffy in your head. All that is your body telling you, hey, did you know that you're not giving me as many carbs as you have been? I don't have as much glucose. So I'm just gonna wait for you to stop this silly diet, or I'm gonna have to go make my own glucose. That's what your body does. And so it takes about 3 days for your body to kick into making ketones on its own. And after you've done that for a week or so, your body remembers how to do it. It's much more efficient. To avoid that, you can drink electrolyte drink. Gatorade is a very popular drink. But if you want to spend less money and not have some of the artificial sweeteners, make your own. All electrolyte is sodium, you've got some calcium, you got some magnesium, which is you're going to need anyway, and potassium. So go to the store and get those minerals, because when you're on a keto diet, constipation is a common side effect. Magnesium is a perfect solution for that. How many? Each body's a little bit different. I'm a 6 to 10 capsule a day person, or my wife, she's fine with 2. So you have to just play with it. You'll see a response in about 6 to 12 hours. And so take it at night, you'll find your sweet spot and you'll be fine. If you get leg cramps, take these, that'll knock it out. A little bit more potassium for those leg cramps, and you'll see those going by the wayside. Now let's talk a little bit about snacking. We have some WEO Smart Foods that is fantastic and great, but I don't want you to have any your first week of starting the protocol. I want you to go to boot camp. I want you to reach ketosis as fast as possible. I want you to get away from those cravings of carbohydrates and sweets as soon as we can, okay? And so here's some great ways to do that. You can get cucumbers, right? And a pickled cucumber is nothing but a pickle. Both those are great. Almost unlimited supply of cucumbers and pickles because the carbs are so low. Same with celery. I love our celery with our sugar-free, fat-free peanut butter, which is fantastic. Put a little bit on my celery and it has nice texture and it gives me the snack that I want. When I'm snacking, I will make now our own yogurt. It's delicious, it's creamy. You can make it as sweet or as sour as you want, and it has no sugars in it. I will be giving you that recipe as we go on, but if you want to do that, that's something that you want to buy a yogurt maker, and I'll give you the model that I like a little bit later. And soda pop, diet sodas. True, they have no calories in them. However, in most drinks, including the Gatorade, it has the type of sweeteners that I'm not in love with. Besides the fact that it's an artificial drink, nothing's better than just water, right? It has a sweetener called acesulfame potassium, or ACE-K. It's an artificial sweetener that is very, very popular. What studies have shown is that when you drink a lot of it, the pancreas thinks that there's glucose in your bloodstream. There really isn't, so it secretes insulin when there's no glucose there. And if you're already insulin resistant, that's the last thing we want your body to have is more insulin. So I'm gonna ask you, get off the diet sodas, just cold turkey, get your own electrolyte, not in a drink, and you'll be better off. Water. Get yourself set up for success. Buy these things in advance. Water jugs so that you don't have to remember how many to count. I know that all I have to do is drink 2 of these a day and I've met my requirement. Take your body weight, cut it in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should drink. If you're 200 pounds, cut it in half. 100 ounces is the sweet spot, okay? If you go over a gallon, which is 128 ounces, meaning you weigh more than that, you're 300 pounds, don't go drink more than a gallon of water. That extra few ounces isn't gonna do you any better. But the water is a necessary component to your success. Your liver has to have water in order to break down those stored fats. I like, for people that don't like to drink water, to suggest that you get the container that you can hold. I like this one because it has a handle. I found this at Walmart. It's like $4. Easy, it's easy to fill. Other people like getting fancier ones, and you can do that. Sometimes if at work or at home and you're moving around throughout your day and you don't want to carry this, then set yourself up with water stations. Put one of these in one room that you're going to spend part of your day in, get another one, put it in that room. And so there's water wherever you're going around work or at home. And that way you'll be able to make sure you're hydrated. So there's a little bit of a tip of getting ready. Oh, almost forgot the berries. Berries will be permissible on the protocol, but not the first couple of weeks. Again, it's not a question as, are they healthy for me? Are these going to get me closer to accomplishing my health goal? And in this case right now, they're not part of the picture, so let's just take those out for a couple of weeks. I'll tell you when we can start them. There you go. We've got a sheet. It gives a list of all the foods you can eat, makes it a little bit easier for when you go shopping. And I'm excited to see you on our weekly consultations, and I know that you'll be successful. It's just a little bit of work, and that work is really just a change of habit. You won't be starving, except for when it's time to eat is when you'll be hungry, but never starving. You won't be miserable. You'll feel better right away. I'll see you on the next video.